Hello, dear people. I'm going to start my live stream by sharing it on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. So give me a second. Okay. As you can see, my live stream, my video, my reason for being here today is because I meet many people that say they are spiritual. And latest, it was a woman that contacted me that found me on a chat platform, on a single platform, and she contacted me over Facebook, and she ended up being in my home. I actually drove my car and got her. And she started by saying, "Oh, it's really nice to meet somebody who is spiritual too." And but the thing is, for me, energy is so important, and I can feel very quickly if somebody's energy is pure, if it's divine, if it's good, if it's loving and caring, if it has mutual respect, if it has ethic and morals and conscious, and there are consciousness about who they are. And this experience, meeting this woman, was a horrible experience. And I've been thinking about this spirituality because right now the world is a crazy, crazy, crazy place to be in. In my opinion, it is worse than it has ever been. For me, to become spiritual means that I have to realize through my realizations, through my list of I don't love myself when, to actually clear them out of my system and start behaving in a way that is loving, caring, mutual respect, and I don't want anything from you. I just want to give. I meet you right there where you are. I don't want to blame anybody for anything. And what I'm saying here, I'm not saying this to put people down or to show that I'm better than everybody else, because I'm not better. I'm more insightful. I am blessed to be in this lifetime on this earth at this time, doing what I'm doing. And by the way, if you have any, I just want to write it here. Yeah, you got any questions? Feel free to ask. I meet so many people that say they're spiritual, and they do so many different things. Maybe I can't even mention all the things they do. They try to fix other people. They try to make money on them suffering. And this is a moral set, really, at least. Oh, my English is so bad sometimes when I want to express things immoral and unethically. I find it really sad that so many people want to make money because they have maybe figured out something that works for themselves. And I can give an example. I'm an educated masseuse, and I could tell people every time I've given them massage, you have to come every week or every second week, so we can keep the pain down. And for me, I'm not here because I can fix anything. I can release you from some pain. I can clear your energy system. I can fill you with grace. I can like boost the the level of energy you have inside of you. And that's why when people leave me after massage sessions, they feel so much better. And when they then, like they often do, call me later on and say, could I please get a massage again? And I'm totally drained and all that. That's where I try to sit down and have a conversation with them, that if you go to somebody and ask them to fix you, and then you go back to your ordinary life and you do whatever you do that made you come here and ask for help, then I will not keep fixing you, because actually the reason is I love myself, I have respect for myself, I have a conscience. So it is impossible for me to like make money out of them not knowing that the situation they're in, they actually created themselves. So I would rather talk with them and tell them that I would love to help them work with themselves. I would love to help them through a different perspective of what they're going through, as truth as my friend. Um, I will only speak the truth. I will only share the truth. I only search for the truth, and I live in the truth. And this is a really, really hard struggle for me, since everybody say, yeah, I don't lie, and then they lie. And they say, yes, I have a conscience, and then they do something that shows that they don't have a conscience. Darkness is a powerful thing to be fighting, either being conscious or unconsciously. Darkness is darkness. And if you are like running around trying to find somebody who can fix you, then in my opinion, it will be the same as if you are running around with a mark on your forehead for the darkness to find you and seek you out and try to control you through fear, through like a little whisper in your ear that tells you you're not good enough, you're never going to do that, you're a bad mom, and all this. And for me, spirituality is being able to be in your own company, not seek somebody else's acceptance or approval. Don't ask for thank yous when you do things for people. Don't expect anything from people. And for example, as a spiritual, there are some things I have realized. For example, I have deleted some words from my vocabulary, like I'm entitled to, it's not fair. There was something else. Oh, I can't remember. It'll come to me. And should, would, and could. There are a lot of words that I have deleted because I have found out through deleting them, and then noticed what it did to me, that it actually made my life much more simple. And Actually, being a spiritual person will say that you are ready to confront the illusions you're living under. And we are living in a society where more or less everything is illusions, more or less everything is lies, being the TV, being the politicians, being the government, being your friends, being your family, being your partner, being your wife, being your man. Um, and my mentor, Carolyn May, she keeps saying that to be able to be invisible is my strongest power as a mystic, as a spiritual person who wants to help people remember where they come from and what they're going through and how they can find their way to the best version of themselves. But being invisible, in my opinion, we all know horrible things are happening in the world. We all know that. But I think what is much worse than all these horrible people that does horrible things is people that doesn't do anything about it. Is people that doesn't fight it to some extent. That stands up stand up for love, stand up for mutual respect, stand up for treating people with respect and be yourself true and being able to trust yourself. The reason people they ask confirmation from other people, does this look good? Am I doing it all right? And all these confirmations they want from others is a direct indicator of they don't trust themselves. So to walk around and say I'm spiritual, I still have a neighbor who I was starting talking to, and one day we were sitting having a cup of coffee, and suddenly he says, "I'm spiritual too. I smoke a little weed and I sit down and listen to some silent, quiet meditation music." And after I got to know him a little better, and I knew how angry he was, how rude he was, how evil he was in his way of talking and behaving, and I told him that there's nothing spiritual about you. And I've said this to many people, spirituality is not something you are, it's a lifestyle. It's a choice you make to change yourself, to change the way you walk through life. It's a choice to look at yourself and realize your inner demons, your character defects, call them what you will, and then love them until they are not controlling you anymore, or kill them if that's the need. For example, I was smoking cigarettes. That's something that I just had to quit. I was biting nails. Okay, there was a reason for that, so I figured out what that was, and insecurity, and everything goes hand in hand when it comes to spirituality. Once you killed one inner demon, change the character defect, the behavior, reaction pattern, something else will pop up, and you'll have to deal with that. And in my experience, of all those clients I've had, many people want to be spiritual. Many people find it interesting. Many people are fascinated by it. But when it comes to doing the work themselves, then they would rather go back to what they were, who they were, how they behaved, how they reacted, than actually do this beautiful work. Because habits have if you let it, a strong influence on you. So when I say spirituality as a lifestyle, then it's there's so many things I have had to say goodbye to because of my decisions to walk down this path. Family, friends, jobs, situations where I can feel that, oh, there's a bad energy here, and I walk away. And like there's a saying that says, pick your fights. And if somebody just wants to argue and they have no intention of actually admitting to the error, admitting to what they are doing wrong or what they did wrong, then I always have to remember to talk in I, because I'm not talking about you. Everything that I'm sharing is something that I've experienced and something I've remembered and something I have learned through the last 20 years. And I just want to be a good person. I want to give. Every day, the only thing I think about is giving, 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 giving. Never taking. Receiving, yes, that's something else, but I rarely receive anything, because if you don't have it in you to give, then how can I receive? And this is my point. And I know in all my live streams on Facebook, yeah, and since I'm sitting here making live streams on YouTube, the reason is that Facebook are going to delete all live streams. Maybe they need space on their servers, I don't know. But Facebook is a really manipulating page, Instagram and Facebook. It's so, I was just sitting here yesterday and I was so tired of all these different people or pages or whatever that pops up on my on the start page, and I was like snoozing them 30 days, snoozing them 30 days, snoozing them 30 days. I was sitting for like half an hour trying to see, okay, what happens if I snooze them? They just come back again. So to push a button that says snooze for 30 days is bullshit. Facebook are not doing what they're saying. It's one big manipulating platform, and that's why I don't scroll around and look at things. Sometimes, yes, but it's for me, life is about finding inspiration. If I want entertainment, I'll watch a movie, or I will listen to an audiobook. Or in the audiobook, there's actually also inspiration. Most of all, I'm looking for inspiration. I want to be inspired. I want to learn something, remember something. And right now, we are all being bombarded through the internet with so much garbage. Everybody has an opinion about everything, and nobody knows how to actually behave normal. And when I say normal, I don't mean normal in the sense that people are normal today, because I think most of the world is sick. Sick is the new normal. And if somebody like me open their mouth and speaks the truth, I'm the sick person. I've been told it so many times. I even made a T-shirt that says, "If you don't like the truth, don't speak to me." And I wear it often, but people don't read T-shirts. They don't read caps, what says on caps, and they are so in their own little world, surviving with whatever illusions they are caught under. So spirituality is like saying, I give up. I had enough. There must be a different lifestyle. There must be something else for me out there. That was how I thought when I stepped into the spiritual life, when I was reborn again, call it what you will. It's so easy to be provoked by people's big ego or their false pride. I can mention I have another neighbor, some that really treats me bad unconsciously. It's my fault the dogs is barking. There's so many things that's my fault, and it's my fault my tree's branches goes into her garden and blah blah blah. There's so many things. And here the other day she had somebody visiting her, and they were parked on the sidewalk where people walk, and they were actually parked on my ground, my in front of my house. And I said, really nice, could you please take your car and move it out to the street? First of all, it's illegal to park on the sidewalk. Second of all, people cannot pass. If somebody came with a children's wagon, I can't remember what it's called in English, they will have to walk out to the street, and there will be an accident waiting to happen. I must admit that it's really tiring to be a person like me in society as it is now. And yes, the easiest thing would for me just to don't participate in anything. Don't talk with anybody. Just shut up, Sean, and go buy your groceries, walk your dog, and say hello. But since I'm this person it's like, and I've said this many times in my live stream, that many of my slogans come out through my live stream. If what I say is hurting you, you can bet it's because it's true. If something confuses you or frustrates you or makes you angry, you can bet it's true. I'm not here to hurt people or to piss people off or to raise my own low self-esteem on other people by putting them down. That was in the past. This is not who I am. This is not as a conscious means that you cannot take anything that's not yours. You cannot steal anything. You cannot throw garbage on the ground. You cannot lie. You want to keep your self-respect, and if you want to keep your self-respect, that means that you have to be able to trust yourself. And many people don't trust themselves, and that's why they behave like they do. It is horrible, these fightings that are going on between people. But when I look at a situation that, in my opinion, goes totally wrong, it's like seeing a dog fight, but just between human beings. It's like there are no connection to the heart. It's all ego. It's all me. It's your fault. Like I've said to many people, if I make a mistake, I say, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I actually made a mistake." It is, in my opinion, people have a really hard time admitting if they make a mistake. And you know what? We all make mistakes. We all make mistakes. And if you, like in one of my slogans again, if you can see your mistake, you made them right. And then you'll have to come to a point that, okay, I have to admit to myself that I need to change something here so I don't do the same mistake again. Because doing the same mistake again and again and hope for a different result, that is, in my opinion, the definition of being stupid. But I don't believe in stupid people. I believe in people they don't know any better. To have a spiritual life is to really understand that whatever makes me happy, whatever makes me glad, whatever gives me happiness, whatever makes me feel good, and we all know that. Deep inside, we all know what makes you feel good. Do that some more. Keep doing it more and more and more. And whatever makes you feel bad, whatever is wrong, ethic and morals, stop doing that. And when you do all these things start working like I'm explaining here, you will eventually come to a point in your life where you realize that okay, if I want respect, I have to show respect. If I want love, I have to love myself. Spirituality, it's a way of living. It's a way of dealing with these horrible situations we are all a part of. Different countries, different problems, different countries, different cultures, different countries, different religions. But it's all the same energy force. It's all the same divine thing that guides us all. And for the last 2,000 years, all the religions have been like fighting each other and says, my religion is better than yours and my God is better than yours. And that's why most wars are starting and why people are being so evil. Yeah, I don't know. Like I've said in many of my live stream, I've not planned anything. I'm not looking down at a piece of paper. I don't have an editor. I'm just sitting here opening my heart and sharing my insights, my realizations, the fights I've gone through, the how I became to invite these things into my life. Here the other day I was down at the pharmacy and I have gotten one drug for one disease that gave me a side effect, and the doctor gave me another drug that gave me that side effect, and then I could get a third drug for that side effect. And I said to my doctor that, okay, what is the side effect of this drug you're telling me to take against the first drug you gave me? And I was a little annoyed, and I actually heard him say, I think it's about time that you find a new doctor. And this is what we're up against. Every time you speak the truth about, in this case, how the medicine industry are controlling our doctors into just pumping medicine into us and actually making us sick. Because what I've realized the last year, I had a bad reaction to some medicine that I was forced upon me, that I was asking for some and I couldn't get it, and they would give you something else. It gave me asthma, and I had asthma for a whole year. I've never had asthma in my whole life. I could barely breathe, and I was using so much money on these blue and brown ones. To you that knows what asthma is, and red ones. And the most beautiful thing just happened here 14 days ago, more actually, 20 days ago. My asthma just disappeared. And I feel closer to me, who I am, when I'm not taking all kinds of drugs my doctor says I have to take. And this is an indicator for me that no wonder people are seeking so badly after healing, both healing their soul, their minds, their body, the spirit. But since it's like, if you look at the possibilities of, if you are a person who is searching for spirituality and you want to find a way to go, and you look at all these options that are there, all these people that are selling different things, a retreat this and a retreat that, and sing balls and meditations, and they want money for it, and they, in my opinion, that is people without a conscience making money of people who are suffering. And I find that very evil. That we live in a time where sick people are making others sick. It just reminds me of the blind leading the deaf. Or is it the deaf leading the blind? And even the person I respect and love the most is my mentor. She's been doing this for, I don't know, 20 years, 30 years. She has, like, I think it's 240 or 30,000 followers on YouTube and Facebook. And that tells me that people who are really searching, people that really want to change themselves into being the best mom, best dad, the best version of themselves, get the job that they want, start healing themselves physically, mentally, spiritually, so their spirit and their soul. It is hard as this era we're in right now. It's like a big candy store of things that is being offered by people who, in their codependency, find something they can sell. They can make money of people being sick, and that's not spirituality. That is that's evil. That's using other people for your own benefit. Of course, there are people that are doing things for free. Of course, there are people that are actually doing a difference, that are doing what they're saying. As if you walk the talk, if you talk the talk, you have to walk the walk. And for me, this is very important. That whatever I'm talking about, whatever I stand for, whatever my criteria of being a good person, being the best version of myself, is how I live my life. And I've never been amazed or wondering why so few people like my videos or why so few people listen to my videos or like my slogans or like my posts, because it is a direct reminder of how few people that actually wants to heal, how few people that actually wants to heal. And I don't think it's a rule, but I think that most people need to come to a place in their life where, like I said, I had enough. There must be a different lifestyle. Something drastic will happen in your life that will take yourself up to consideration. Okay, is it constructive? Is it loving? Is it caring the way that I live my life? Is there something I can change so I can start loving myself? And if people dared ask that question themselves and actually truly answer it, they would be on their way to start living a spiritual life. I don't run around and tell people I'm spiritual. I'm just me. I don't have the need to tell people who I am or what I do. Or if people wants to know who I am, they can Google my name. They can go watch my videos. They can listen to my music. They can read my slogans. They can read my writings. Like I've said so many times before, my name's Sean Riget. I'm the only person in the world that has that name. So I'm very easy to find. I'm not here because I want to be noticed or somebody to clap me on my shoulder and tell me what you're doing is okay. Because when you have faith in the divine, in the divine energy, I call it God. You can call it whatever you want, the higher power. Every time I talk to people and I ask them, do you have faith? It is much easier for people to tell me what they don't have faith in than to tell me what they have faith in. When you have faith and you live a life where you pray and you are aware of everything is energy transactions, everything is energy moving, nothing ever dies, it's just moving from one place to another. You will realize that you will be like they're talking about in the Celestine prophecies and in many other movies, that when you are being a good person in the eyes of God, in the eyes of divinity, the divine, you will be given energy. You will be filled up with God's grace. I call it what it is, and I'm sorry if that's a problem for you, but I actually don't care, because I speak as I do and I say things as I do, and I'm not controlled about how people think or what they say, how they react. I have no control over that. The only thing I can control is that what I speak is truth, that I am being true to myself, that I'm not here to waste anybody's time. And at least of all, most important of all, I'm not wasting my life. We are visitors. We are divine creatures incarnated in a body, having a human experience. And I think that's why reincarnation is a real thing. That if you have reincarnated many times, if you have developed all these things I'm talking about, and you are then you will shine brighter. But there are so many new souls that is incarnated for the first time that has no idea what this is about, that cling on to using the normal religions, and it doesn't bring them any joy, it doesn't bring them any closer, it doesn't help them find faith. In my opinion, if you don't have faith, then you have nothing. I was listening to it was actually not my mentor, but my mentor had a talk with another guy. I think I watched so many videos of spiritual masters. Anyway, this person was saying this sentence that I really want to use myself to give to you, because this is something this is your homework. Ask yourself, what are you trying to control that you can't control? And what are you not controlling that you can control? If you dare ask yourself that question, then you will paint this picture of who you are much clearer. And that's why I've talked about this list. I don't love myself, and then you write down below all the things you don't love myself. For me, it was a way of making my inner demons more visible and easier for me to confront and get rid of. Take them one by one and put a little check mark on when I stop one thing and stop another thing. The tools that I'm giving for finding the true version of yourselves is tools I have used myself, and I know they work 100%. I would never tell you to do anything that I have not experienced on my own body and soul. For me, it is yeah, 48 minutes talk. Spirituality is a lifestyle. When you ask yourself, what is it I'm doing in my life that I keep tripping over, that keeps ruining my harmony, that keeps ruining my self-esteem? When you look upon these questions with an open heart, and you really, really want to be responsible for who you are, and you realize that there are consequences to all actions, then yes, you have to struggle with blood, sweat, and tears, but there is only one way. There's only one way, and that is to stop being who you are and start being the person that you want to meet on the street. Be that example that you want to see in others. Sometimes I think about that, when you throw a stone into a pond, lake, whatever, and these rings comes out and spread slowly further and further out. And I try to put myself in the place as, okay, I'm sitting here humble, trying to share my insights. Not trying, I am sharing my insights with you in the hope of you can use it. If I look at it as a stone and it has this ripple effect, I must admit that this this lake or pond or whatever it's called is gigantic. Most people are used to the old way, the way that is slowly smoldering and it's not efficient anymore and it's not working for people, and more people are waking up and realize that, okay, the thing that I was asking myself was, what can I do to start feeling better? I've self-realized that the last 20 years of my life, I have asked everybody else to fix me, to tell me what to do, tell me which direction to go in. And it only led me to more suffering. And if there's something humans are good at, then it's inviting suffering into your life. It's like when I say to people, don't allow anything to steal your beautiful energy. What I mean with that is that no matter what situation, which person that throws these words at you, or how your children behave, or all those things that you can't control, stop trying to control it. And then look at the things you can control, and then control that. Trying to make more money, trying to get a bigger car, trying to get a better body by pumping it with, I don't know, silicone or whatever people they do with their body. I can use myself as an example. I quit smoking cigarettes last year, and I had been stopped for about 8 months, and I gained around 7 or 8 kilos, and it was all on my stomach, and my 6-pack was gone. And then at my birthday in October, I tasted a cigarette, and there we go, I was back at smoking. So I stopped smoking again, I don't know, 20 days ago or something. And since that period from October to 20 days ago, my 7 kilos are gone, and I got my 6-pack back again. And I was sitting at this meeting for Stop Smoking, and I heard myself say, okay, habits, there are some really bad ones, and I have a really bad habit where I, just before I go to bed, I eat something, some toast with cheese, and I said, maybe I think I need to stop eating just before I go to bed, as eating unhealthy stuff. So I will have to eat fruit, for example. Then I came home from that meeting, and I was like, hey, Sean, you just solved the problem and the reason that you gained 7 kilos. Because when I look at it, I haven't changed what I eat. I haven't changed how much I eat. I haven't changed when I eat. But the thing about smoking is that your, what is that called in English? Stuff. I don't know what it's called in English. Stofskifte. Something happens to you when you stop smoking. It is easy for people to gain weight. And most people would say, yeah, it's because I start eating candy, or I eat more, or when I'm sad, I eat, and all these are just bad habits, and that is actually yourself that is inviting the overweight into your life. But stop smoking will change something. So you'll have, I'm so annoyed that I don't, wait a second, I have to translate that word, 2 seconds. Google Translate, stofskifte, dansk til engelsk. Metabolism. the metabolism changes in your body um, a lot from when you stop smoking. It's like it cannot handle as much as you normally could. Now it will actually go and give you 7 kilos on your stomach, just to take me as an example. So I had a client who asked me, why are you doing what you're doing? And I remember I started laughing because I've never been asked that question. And intuitively, I just said, I just want to make people happy. I just want to help people realize that most of the problems they're struggling with, they have created themselves. The diseases they are suffering under, they can actually do something about. Instead of going to the doctor and get prescribed some kind of medicine, then ask yourself, okay, what have I done to deserve this? No, what have I done to create this illness in me? Can I change something in my lifestyle that makes this thing disappear, and I'll not suffer from it, and I don't need medicine? It's all about daring to self-realize, what can I do without asking anybody else for help? What is it I can control? And that's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle to dare sit down and look your inner demons straight in the face and say, you know what, the reptiles, you're not welcome here. I don't need you in my life anymore. It's not doing me any good. It's not constructive. And there have surely been a lot of people in your life that have tried to communicate these things to you. But since you are in denial about the truth, you will just fight them off with whatever weapon you have in hand. Illusions, anger, selective hearing, you mentioned it. Many babies has many names. I don't know how to say it. And I remember myself when I was younger, one exact thing that I have never been out in the schoolyard to play with children in the first 9 years of my schoolyard. In those 9 years I was in school. And I asked my mother, who was my Danish teacher, why are you keeping me away from the schoolyard? And she said, I want to protect you. And I didn't understand that. And now, here later, I totally understand that what's happening in the schoolyard is what I will call manipulating with the individual, through the system, telling you what to like, what clothes to wear, what music to listen to, how to speak, how to react, and all that. So I have not been influenced under that. So that means that she was actually protecting me. But I was not ready to hear the truth at that time. And when I sit and think about it, there are many situations where good people have said something to me, and where I was just, with all my illusions, with all my anger, with all my selective hearing, with all my big ego, and bought out of my life kind of attitude. And I have returned back to some of these people, either in email or called them and said, I want to thank you for what you did, what you tried to do for me at that time, but I was not ready to invite the truth in. There will always be people that can see what struggle you have, and those people will try, if they love you, try to tell you that truth. But it will be hard and those people will leave you if you keep going down the destructive path in life and you don't choose to have a spiritual lifestyle, and you just want to run around and say I'm spiritual while you're messed up in your head. You will those people will eventually leave you. Um, Down the line, in a couple of 100 or 1,000 years, man, I would love to be reincarnated and read about this time from 2000 and a couple of 100 years forward. Read about how things changed, because the changes I'm talking about here is not something that's going to happen in my lifetime. It's we are making the foundation for this. We are trying to break through. We are, as like whistleblowers, we are, don't believe that shit, don't believe the politicians, don't believe the medias, don't believe TV, radios. It's so hard to have trust in people, because most people, they don't trust themselves, so they'll just say what you want to hear. So yeah, spirituality is a lifestyle. I was actually I remember that Pope France in the Vatican was saying that you don't have to go to church or be in a religion to find God or have God in your life. Just do everything that you love and go hug a tree and be in the nature and all that. I was like, man, I've been saying that for many years. And for the last couple of years, I've been saying that there's going to come a new religion, not a religion, but it's going to be called universal spirituality. And then I was sitting listening to my dear mentor, Callum Mays, in one of her workshops. And suddenly I hear her say, yeah, and the Vatican is already working on a new religion called universal spirituality. And I was like, wow. They are, all the big guys are realizing that something is not working, and we need to change something. And yeah, my little dog came. You want to say hello to my dog, Uzo? Hi, Uzo, my baby. Yeah. 9-year-old girl is behaving like she's 2 years old. I don't know if I want to say so much more, because I'm getting hungry and it's past dinner time. That was actually what I had on my mind, that I wanted to explain that spirituality is a lifestyle. It's not something you are because you say you are. That's kindergarten level. That's definitely not something that God approves of. I was talking about God's grace earlier. Every time that I do something, think something, or is about to do something, or I would be filled with God's grace. You have this feeling where the neck, the hairs in your neck rises, and the hairs on your arm rises, and goosebumps, kind of, but that's not goosebumps. And you would be like, ooh, that's a lovely emotion. It's better than any drug I've ever known. I remember in my period where I was smoking weed for 15 years straight, I was always saying that if I could buy that drug, if I could buy that emotion on a can, I would buy all the cans. And now I know that it's a way of the divine to tell you, I'm proud of you. Keep doing what you're doing. You're going on the right path. Here are some energy that can guide you. And that's where faith come in. If you don't have any faith, you're not going to be able to be guided by the divine. I remember there was a guy I met on the street, and I was in the middle of cutting down a tree, and I asked him if he wanted to help me, and he started to help me, and I invited him into my home when we was driving down with some wood, and he was sitting there, conspiracy theoretic, I think it's called. He had all these conspiracies in his head, and he kept telling me that there was a voice in his head, and I could just feel when he was talking that, okay, this is not divine, this is not God, this is darkness trying to control you through fears, because fear will say anything to keep you away from faith. It will shine so bright, but the energy, you will never be mistaken by the energy field that people have around them. And that is what I'm so grateful for, that I have realized and invited that truth in, that I can actually feel people's energy field. I can actually see the aura too. And I have the pleasure of, I can actually read micro expressions, all the expressions a face does just before what they want to speak comes out their mouth. And when I put all these things together, the energy field, the aura, the micro expressions, up next against to what people say, if it doesn't match, if it's not the same energy, then I will trust 100% the energy field. I will trust the aura. I will trust the micro expressions. I will never trust the words that comes out of people's mouths. Never. Because I've done that too many times, and it have given me so much, so many struggles in life. I've learned my lesson. I have learned my lesson. And these divine abilities that we all have is being not given to me, but I have awoken them inside me because of my choice to look upon myself 100% truthful, through my self-realizations, through purging my soul, letting go of what's not good for me, and inviting things in that are good for me, and that is inspiring, and that is filling me up with love and hope. So don't be fooled when people say they're spiritual. Don't be fooled if any spiritual director wants to ask money of you, if they say they can help you with whatever tool they have in hand. Because for me, healing is spontaneous, and healing is free, and everybody can heal. And the thing is, it's not us that does anything when we heal. It is us that is, it is me that is divinely connected to God, and it's God that's working through me. I'm just a tool. I'm just the middleman. And I don't like calling what I do teachings, because I'm not teaching anything. I'm just helping you remember what you already know. But because of the cultural stress, because of the social inheritance, the cultural inheritance, and family, and generations of bad habits and behavioral patterns, and you name it, it's not easy. It is not easy. It is, you really need to look at yourself. Like, it's like sometimes I'm sitting here thinking I'm saying the same thing and again, just in different ways. And yeah, maybe I am. But spirituality and divine and grace and faith and ethic and morals and conscious, the human virtues, the fundamental virtues of human is more or less forgotten. And that is what I have invited into my life, and that is, it has made me into who I am today. So I'm just gonna keep doing what I do and keep living my life. My dog is making her bed. It's so cute. The funny thing is, if I go over and I want to take all her blankets and put them nicely, layer by layer, she will mix it up and make her own bed. So I don't make her bed. She can make her own bed. I think that's enough for me for today. I love you all. I really, really do love you all. And I send you all my love and my blessings and all the healing that I can pass through me to you. I wish you the best. Some will call it grow some balls, but give yourself a chance, because I don't like to use the word deserve, but there is a better life that waits for you than the life you're living right now, where, in my opinion, most people are surviving. They're not even living. So I send you all my love, all my blessings, and I will try to come online some more. Oh, by the way, I just remembered something. When you make a decision of changing your life and becoming more spiritual and inviting God into your life and all these things I've been talking about here, it has a cost. Like I said also, that if you want to bring peace into your life, there's so many things you have to say goodbye to. I've seen so many couples split up because of one person wants to become spiritual and the other one doesn't care. And I've gotten the question many times where a person says, okay, can I be in a relationship with the person who's not spiritual if I'm spiritual? And I said, no. It will be an internal struggle about your faith, your beliefs, your realizations, and it will tear you apart eventually. So I just want to say that because it has been rumbling in my head. So I send you all my love, guys. Bless you all. Be safe. And if you want to talk with me, feel free to contact me. My contact informations are everywhere on the internet. Just Google my name, Sean Riget. Peace, love, and share. Bye-bye.